Hi, I'm Jen, and today what we're going to do is we're going to do a little training with the yoga ball. Okay, so we have a yoga ball here, and this is, I think, one of the best. It can really teach you a lot. All right, and not a lot of people in Wing Chun or Chinese boxing, they don't use it. I don't think they use it enough, right? But what I like about it is that the ball, it never stops trying to take you off or sweep you. We call it sweep you, right? So what do I mean? Okay, so let's say you sit on the ball, right? You get on your knees and you sit on the ball, right? Okay, so the ball is constantly trying to throw me off. It's trying to sweep me. So I have to activate my core, right? And I have to try to maintain my shoulder, my hip, and my heel. But you see me doing all these little hip movements, okay? And I have to do that so that I can constantly attack the ball's center, okay? Or I get thrown off, right? So my hip is doing a lot of work right now to keep me on the ball, right? Okay, this is a really good way of learning to use your hips, okay? Because I always tell you that one of the biggest differences between the way I teach, the way Hawkins teaches, versus a lot of other Wing Chun out there is that we don't necessarily train from the elbow to the hand. We train from the elbow back towards the body. So this is training you how to use the body, right, to attack the center of the ball, right, by using all these little hip movements, okay? And this is important, right, because you're starting to learn how to stay centered on the ball by using your hip movement, okay? So, once you can practice by yourself, but it's also good. I like to use this as a warm-up for my students. Okay, so come here, bro. All right, so from here, what we do is we just put the ball belly to belly. Once we're like this, we put our hands behind our back. Okay? So right here now, what we're doing is we're going to put a little bit of pressure so that we meet each other. Right? I get heavy knee. We're getting heavy knee. See this? Okay? So now we're attacking each other. I can feel her center, she can feel my center. Okay? And this is a good way, because you always hear that in Wing Chun, attack your opponent's center. But sometimes it's hard to really understand what that means. But when you put this ball in between, you can actually feel it. Right? Yeah. Okay, so I feel her center. So now what I'm going to do is I have one person lead, okay, and then the other person's going to follow. So I'm going to lead. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do gunslinger. Okay, gunslinger is like this. Okay, so if I'm facing you, right, we're meeting at the high noon. Okay, I got my two guns here. Okay, so if I want to draw, boom, this way, I use my hip, boom, fire. Boom. Okay, or this gunslinger right. Here, gunslinger left. Ah, right, I shoot. Okay, or I shoot both straight. Okay, boom, gunslinger, both straight on. Okay, so again, using the hips. Okay, focusing on using the hips and not the arms. So from here, I'm using the body. So from here, I'm going to go gunslinger with my right hip. That means Brooke has to somehow counter that feeling. So she's going gunslinger with her right hip. Right? Now from here, we're at a stalemate again. So now, without taking pressure off the ball, I'm going to shift. I'm going to put the pressure to my other hip. But she feels it, and she does the same thing. So I'm gunslinger left. Brooke is gunslinger left. Okay, I go to the middle, and I fire both straight on. Okay, so now I'm coming low to high. Okay, so Brooke, she has to figure out how to stop that. See, she feels the pressure. She doesn't want to get uprooted. So what does she do? She starts to gunslinger me. Okay, she's going to guns. I'm pushing straight. She's starting to shift her hips. But if you notice, when we do the gunslinger, we're not shifting our feet. We're only shifting our hip. Okay? But I'm still facing her. We're still facing each other. Okay? Because what we don't want to do is let's say Brooke, she attacks me with both hips, gunslinger both sides, right? Okay? Now, she comes in and I shift my feet and I shift my shoulder line. They come in, right? Then I'm going to end up losing my balance. Okay? So I don't want to train myself yet to shift, okay, to alleviate the pressure. Okay? I want to face. So we're going to face each other. So your hips can rotate, right, any direction, but your feet and your shoulders are still pointing straight. Okay? This is gunslinger. This is not shifting. This is only the hips moving. Okay? So I go gunslinger right, she goes gunslinger right. I go gunslinger left, she goes gunslinger left. I go straight, she can go either way to alleviate the straight pressure with her hip. Okay? And then practice that. I go low to high, she can go high to low. Yeah, see, she almost got me. Right? Okay, if I go high to low, she can go low to high. See, to stop me. Okay? I can go gunslinger right, and I can go low to high with the gunslinger right. She goes also low to high, or she can go high to low with the gunslinger right. Yeah. Okay? I can go high to low with the gunslinger left. Okay? She can also go low to high. Okay? Got it? Always we're facing each other's center line, or center of balance. It's really center of balance. Okay? So from here, we just play. Okay? And she has to learn to counter. Okay? That energy. Where is the energy coming from? Okay? Right? I can go shoot the basketball, right? This is the slinky movement, right? This is the wave movement. Right? See, I already have her. Right? She lost her balance. So this is a game that you guys can play with each other where this is really the heart of Chi Sao, because we're not using our arms. Okay? Because once we put the arms into play, okay, let's say we do Dan Chi from here. Okay? Once we do this, what we're doing is we're extending the hip out into our elbow. Okay? So we extend the hip. So my hip moves, my elbow moves. Okay, see that? If my gunslinger right, my elbow also goes gunslinger right. Okay? If I go gunslinger left, see my elbow goes gunslinger left. If I go low to high, my elbow goes low to high. If I go high to low, right, my elbow goes high to low. Okay? So you have to, once you understand the ball, then add your hands so that now you understand that sensitivity drill is really not just handwork like this, and then punch like this. Right? This is not going to teach you much at all. Okay? It's really, everything is in the hip. See, from here, we meet hip to hip. See? Now we're like attached. It's like having a ball in front of us now, in the middle of us. Now from here, see, I attack, I go gunslinger to the right. She counters, see? Now she punches, and she should be punching with also gunslinger or something with the hip. Okay? So she gave me a problem, so I had to learn to dissolve it with my body. Then drop, and then, see? And I'm giving her different types of feel so that she can counter and practice. Okay? And she should be doing the same thing. Right? Give me different kinds of energy with the hip. That way it forces me to keep learning to adjust with my hip and my body so I can defend. Okay? So I think that's a great way to train. Learning to do a couple things. One is learning to use the body structure to do your Chi Sao. Okay? That also means that your body is really doing all the sensitivity work. It's not your arm. It's really your body. I feel what she's doing because of the connection of the two structures between our arms. Okay? And she also feels what I'm doing. Right? So she counters it. So I think it's an easy way for you to understand this concept. Because sometimes it's really difficult, and you start to really just focus on just hand speed and muscle power, right? But you're not developing the sensitivity of the body and the hips and the moving, okay? So it's a great way to practice by using the ball, okay? And if you don't have the ball, then, or if you don't have a partner, then you can just practice. Sometimes I'll sit here like this, just sit, and I'll bring my feet up, right? But I'm just practicing, using my hips to counter, because the ball is my partner now. Because why? Because it's trying to throw me off, right? Okay? So you practice, because your hips have to counter the feeling, okay? And then you practice on your knees, okay? Like this. And you notice I can't be, I always tell you shoulder, hip, heel. This is a real shoulder, hip, heel, or shoulder, hip, knee now, because I'm bent. So, see how I'm upright? So I have to learn to get my balance. It's a feeling, okay? Okay? You can also practice standing on the ball, but be careful, right? Okay? Until you can get it, so that when you do it, you can feel the balance. You can find the center of the ball. Just like if you're doing chi style, you find the center of your opponent, right? And then just practice. Whoa, right? Balance. Using the hips, control your balance, find the center of the ball, right? Practice. Then you can move, you can jump around, see? I'm trying to maintain the center of the ball. Okay? So, you don't have a partner? Use the ball. It'll teach you sensitivity, okay, if you do it right. Okay? So the body, using the body and the hips to feel what's going on. Alright, so practice. They're really cheap. The yoga balls are really cheap. You can get one anywhere. Right? And that's it. Alright? So thank you very much. Thank you, Brooke. And we'll see you guys soon.